More than 15 people in California, okay?
They only got 9.
They only got 9 because I only gave them 9 names.
In the 1980s, the shadows of America's underworld, one man earned a reputation as an untouchable killer, a ghost who left no trace but death in his wake. Known only as the Phantom, he became infamous for his precision, anonymity, and an unmatched ability to evade capture. But when a string of mysterious deaths pointed to his deadly handiwork, law enforcement launched a nationwide manhunt to stop him before he struck again.
A suspected hitman charged with 9 murders in California has confessed to killing even more people while working for a drug cartel. KSFN reports this confession comes after several charges were brought against him.
51-year-old José Manuel Martínez is in an Alabama jail cell, facing charges for a murder there, possibly 2 more in Florida, and now 9 murders here in California.
This is the gripping story of José Manuel Martínez, El Mano Negra. The Black Hand, the pursuit to bring down America's deadliest hitman. Chapter 1: The Rise of the Phantom. It started with a string of mysterious deaths, each more chilling than the last. Across several states, influential figures, known for their impeccable security, were being found dead under inexplicable circumstances. At first glance, they seemed like accidents, car crashes, heart attacks, or even suicides. But beneath the surface, something sinister lurked. Law enforcement agencies began to piece together the threads. Forensic details, small, almost imperceptible, suggested that these deaths were no mere coincidences. A faint residue of an exotic poison, a single hair strand in the victim's car, or a footprint barely noticeable in the mud outside a victim's home. These were the trademarks of a professional someone with meticulous precision and a deadly agenda. Investigators coined him the Phantom, a hitman whose skills were unmatched and whose trail was almost impossible to follow. The Phantom had no digital footprint, no known associates, and no clear motive. His victims ranged from corporate magnates to low-level operatives in criminal organizations. He seemed to work for anyone who could pay, yet no one knew who he truly was. As the FBI and local law enforcement pooled their resources, they uncovered an alarming pattern. Each victim had crossed paths with a mysterious intermediary, a shadowy figure who operated in the gray zones of society. This middleman vanished shortly after the last reported contact with the victims, leaving behind only encrypted communications that led nowhere. The hunt for the Phantom was no longer just a matter of justice. It was a race against time before he struck again. One investigator, Special Agent Harper, became obsessed with the case. She pored over every detail, convinced that this wasn't just another hitman but a calculated predator who thrived on outsmarting authorities. Her relentless drive became the backbone of the pursuit, unearthing connections others overlooked. Chapter 2: The Ledger of Death. The investigation turned when a hacker group, known for exposing corruption, leaked a fragment of what appeared to be the Phantom's ledger. The document was a chilling catalog of death, a list of targets, dates, and payment records. One entry, however, stood out: a future target. The name was classified, but the location was traceable: a small town in the Midwest. Law enforcement swarmed the area. They set up surveillance, mobilized undercover agents, and laid intricate traps. Days turned into weeks as the town's residents unknowingly became part of a high-stakes manhunt. Despite the heavy presence, the Phantom remained elusive. His reputation as a ghost seemed unshakable. Then, a breakthrough came in the form of a witness, a retired private investigator who had seen a man fitting the Phantom's description meeting a high-profile arms dealer. The investigator described him as unremarkable, almost forgettable. But with eyes that seemed to pierce through your soul. The lead was thin, but crucial. Agents followed the trail to an abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of the city. Inside, they found a macabre scene: photos of potential targets, weapons neatly laid out, and a map detailing his movements. Yet, the hitman himself was nowhere to be found. Instead, he had left a taunting message: "You're close, but not close enough." What they didn't anticipate was the Phantom's ability to manipulate the situation. He began to toy with the task force, leaving false clues and misleading evidence that sent agents scrambling in the wrong direction. Each step seemed to push them further away, as if he was always one step ahead. Chapter 3. The Final Stand. The pressure mounted as José Manuel Martínez's next target was revealed a prominent senator advocating for stringent measures against organized crime. The clock was ticking, and the stakes had never been higher. A special task force was deployed, combining the FBI's best profilers, tech experts, and field agents. Through advanced analysis, they discovered a crucial flaw in José Manuel Martínez's pattern. He relied on specific safe houses, each strategically located near his targets. This led them to a dilapidated apartment building in a quiet suburb. The team moved in, cautiously sweeping through the rooms, expecting an ambush at any moment. The confrontation was swift and brutal. The Phantom, though cornered, didn't go down without a fight. Using his expert knowledge of the building's layout, he evaded capture several times, wounding 3 agents in the process. But his luck finally ran out when he made a critical error, exposing himself to a sniper stationed on a nearby rooftop. As the dust settled, law enforcement finally had their man, or so they thought. His arrest only deepened the mystery. José Manuel Martínez refused to speak, offering no insight into his motives, his employers, or his methods. The enigmatic assassin remained as much a ghost in custody as he had been in the shadows.
Where'd you him at?
I left that truck parked on the sideway of on the highway.
So you Sylvester and this other guy was with him.
Yeah.
Despite his capture, questions lingered. How many had hired him? Were there others like him? And perhaps the most chilling, was the Phantom truly the deadliest, or just the beginning of a darker conspiracy? What do you think? Let us know in the comments below.